I thought we could start our evening together with some music and with some presence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you all to actually kind of join us in a little grounding moment. And what you can do in that is you might, reimagine what this chair that you may have been sitting in all day really can be. Maybe in this moment it can just be a little sanctuary for you to settle into. Maybe you lean back into that chair. Maybe the same hips that you've been sitting in all day, you can just kind of melt into them a little bit. And I invite you, if it feels comfortable, to close your eyes, and if not, maybe lower your gaze from your screen down to something that is softer, maybe the ground or your hands. And just kind of settling in, and you'll hear a little bit of music as we go through this. But I invite you right now to just notice your body. Just noticing your body. You don't even need to do really much with it right now. Just noticing the weight of gravity on your shoulders. I like to think that gravity is like the earth hugging us, holding us close to it, always. So just giving in to that a little bit, letting that pull our shoulders down. Maybe you, like me, feel like taking a deep breath. Maybe another. I want to once again just really acknowledge the land that we are on right now. All the work that we do is really to be in right relation with this land that we are on, and each of us an extension of that. So just giving thanks for this land that sustains us, that nourishes these bodies that we inhabit right now. Giving thanks and honoring the indigenous people of the lands that we are on, and the stewardship that they have done, the work that they have done to care for these lands, and may we continue to follow their leadership, their guidance, and how we can be in right relation. And of course, I want to also invite the wise and well ancestors of all the attendees of this group. If you think about it, there's 100 of us here, but we are all here. Even if not physically together, we are here in this moment, in this present intention of learning and sharing together. So may all our ancestors be with us. May we be good extensions of our lineages. May we be the place where new cycles begin and old cycles that no longer serve end. And may today and our time together contribute to that. I will share with you a song now. That was shared to me, I would say, by my ancestors, through the ways that they worked through us in catching a song. And this song is called Dunya. And I invite you, as you listen to it, to hear it in your heart, because you might not understand the words. It's in Arabic mostly, but I think you'll understand as you listen. Sabale, sabale, اصبري ليا شوية ما دارين تستنوا للبعدين ماشي وين ماشي وين ماشي وين أنا قلبي مستني لك هنا أنا هنا Sabale, sabale عليه اهدي علي شوية ما شايفيني جاري من 200 ربنا خلق الإنسان من علقة دايرين الحركة ليه شامين العطارة دايرين البركة ما دايرين تستنوا ليه دنيا سبالي سبالي Sabale, sabale. Dunya. Sabale. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm honored to share that song with you all. And, as a choir, um, we have had to find new ways to create harmony. And it's been a beautiful opportunity for us, as I know it has been for each one of us, to find new ways to make our contribution, share that which is in our hearts, that we want to share to this world, to this planet, and to the inhabitants of it. And it's invited us to really, in a lot of ways, explore our own songwriting and to really tune in to the listening of like what are the songs that want to come through us. And but yeah, Thrive Choir, as was mentioned by Carly, really arises from this intention to breathe some soul and some spirit and some magic and some juice into the movements that we're a part of, especially climate, because we need it. We need to feel the threads that weave them all together, and we need it to be really funky and juicy and irresistible. So thank you for that. I'm going to pass it over to KJ and let them share some wisdom with you all and some music, and we'll just be in dialogue with you all tonight. So thanks for being on this ride with us.
Yes. Thank you, dear Mazin. I feel very blessed to be here with you all tonight. Thank you for blessing us with that song. That's just like, whew, talk about a portal. Pandemic as portal, that song as a portal. These screens that we are all in together with right now as portals. And I'd love to invite just a big breath, a collective breath. I can't see your faces, but I'm feeling all of your presences. So let's all breathe together in through the nose and out with a sigh. And if it feels good to you to bring your focus internal for a moment on your insides and just notice what shifted with Mazin's offering. So what did you notice in your nervous system? Did you calm down at all? Did your belly loosen a little bit? Did your heartbeat slow? Did your jaw unclench? Did something light up? Did something feel inspired? So all of these sensory inputs, all of these maybe seemingly little clues from our bodies that something is changing, something new is available to be experienced here, is not only what is possible through music, but is our priority. So our priority as a choir, as priority as artists, is to make moments like that more widely accessible, more common, and really as often as possible to have those recognizable shifts in the inside. So I don't know about y'all, but I have had so many moments in my life where I have been in a tizzy about something, all up in my head, thinking that everything is impossible, not knowing where to turn, knowing that I have so much to contribute, not knowing how, feeling really stuck up here. And either through listening to a song, through going to a concert, through singing by myself, the common thread being musicality, I have felt a shift and a dilation of what is possible. So that is something that I hold very dearly as my role in being a good ancestor. That, what does that even mean? So just you decided to join this talk this evening. Something in you had some interest in what that means. Now, we don't have a defined, laid out thing of this is what it means to be a good ancestor. You get to decide that on your own. What I know for myself is that what feels important, given the huge shift that we are in right now, the shift into multidimensionality, into post-patriarchy, into post-white supremacy, all these post things, what the new era that we are entering, what feels exciting to me about that, and about these generations that are coming, is a remembrance of the body and the wisdom that is inherent in all of us. That really comes from the ancient ones, that comes from our bloodlines, that comes from our activist lines. Mazin mentioned earlier when we were with the students of this course that our ancestors are not only those of blood and bone. Yes, those are very important and a very rich part of all of our ancestries. But in addition to our DNA, what about the ancestors of our activism? The ancestors of our artistry? How can we bring in all of those and call upon their wisdom and someday be amongst their ranks, be amongst them for the ones that are coming? How will the ones coming know that we did our part? How will they know? What will that look like? These are the questions that I sit with every day, that the choir sits with every day. And our modality is singing about it. Our modality of grappling with these questions and answering them in our own ways and having more questions come from that is through attuning to the frequency that's already available and saying, how can this come forth in song form? How can this come forth in a way that may bypass the brain, bypass all of the heady things that we may be taught, especially in academia, and that may be prioritized and put up on a pedestal as being more scientific or therefore more valid? And say, no, the only validity that we need is what our innate nature says, what the soft animal of our bodies really want and crave. That's coming from a Mary Oliver poem. So I would love to transition into a song moment where we have a couple of songs with you all tonight. And this is one that I say I receive songs. So sometimes I write a song and it comes from the inside out, but something that is a common thread amongst us in the choir is this notion of receiving songs. That songs, they already exist. They already are in the world. They're wanting to come through. And what I see that this pandemic has represented is more opportunities to be a portal. That this body that I've been given really is an instrument and is a portal for those songs to come through. So this spiritual nature of approaching being with songs and songwriting and song catching is something that's very central to our choir and what we believe. And this song is one that I received in a truck in Hawaii. I was very blessed to spend some time on the Big Island last year and felt a very different radio signal there. just in my own experience of different lands having different things to say, different songs that want to be sung. And I was thinking about climate change. I was thinking about the lushness of the Big Island and what I want to be counted in for. And just the phrase "count me in" came. And this song has gone on to be a part of the Sunrise Movement. I know that some of you all are familiar with them. They are a youth-led environmental justice movement that is doing some amazing work. And they center song pretty much at every meeting. They start with song. It's a way to get our bodies involved. It's a way to make it more fun. It's a way to make it more accessible. So this is one that I shared with them, and I'm excited to share it with you all tonight. And as you listen, as you receive it yourself, what I invite is for you to consider what you want to be counted in for. So I say a couple of things in the song. I say I want to be counted in for this, counted in for that. If you have a pen or a journal nearby, or maybe the notes app on your phone, after the song is finished, we're going to have about 30 seconds of silence, and I'll remind you, for you to think, what do I want to be counted in for? Maybe it's one of the things that I sing. Maybe it's something totally different. But we're going to have a moment just for you to let it sink in and to ask your own self, your own heart, what am I saying yes to by being on this journey of being alive right now in this particular time? So, with that, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Count me in, I'm here to make a change. Oh, count me in, I'm here to heal some pain. Oh, count me in, I'm here to stand tall. Oh, count me in, I'm here to feel it all. I'm here to feel it all. Count me in, I'm here to lend a hand. Oh, count me in, I'm here to protect this land. Oh, count me in, I'm here to help make it right. Oh, count me in, I'm here to shine a little light. A little light. Count me in, I'm here to love the earth. Oh, count me in, I'm here for death and rebirth. Oh, count me in, I'm here to shout it out. Oh, so if you're in, let me hear you sing it loud. Oh, count me in, oh, count me in, oh, count me in. Oh, count me in, oh, count me in, oh, count me in. Oh, count me in, oh, count me in, oh, count me in. Count me in, count me in, oh, count me in. And a big breath, everybody. And a release, and I'm going to give you about 30 or so seconds. Even if you don't write it down, just sit with yourself, with your own soul, and ask yourself, what do I want to be counted in for? Here we go. What kind of legacy do you want to leave? What would you like for the future generations to know that you contributed and not having to strain, not having to work hard at it, not having to prove anything. But what comes easeful, what feels good to your body, the ease that comes from dancing with a group of friends, that feeling of singing at a big rock concert with a bunch of people. I know we haven't been doing that recently, but I know that some of you know that feeling. It can come from dropping down into your body, using your voice, using your instrument. Is there a way that you can bring that part of you into your activism, into your work that you do in the world, and let it be joyful, so that there is a repatterning, a restructuring of your own DNA, and the generations that are to come will receive the benefit of that? So doing it not just for your own enjoyment, but knowing that in your cells you are creating new pathways that will be passed down. And just as I mentioned earlier, not just your DNA future, and you will not just be your DNA, it is your lineage, your future lineage, people who are in your same path of work, people who have a similar dharma, people who are going to be into the things that you're into. How can you pave the way for them in your unique contribution? Those are some nuggets to be with in your journal, with your friends, in your own thoughts, in your dream life. I'm going to pass it back over to my dear Mazin, see what he's got to say on all that.
Receiving. I'm just so grateful for all you shared, KJ, and I really, it's so true that, our brains are like a Google search, and whatever question we plug into that search bar is like what it will start. So if we're like, how can I be a good ancestor? How can I be? Just asking that question, living through that question. I was once working with someone, a friend, and it was like, I feel guilty about not showing up for my son in the right way. And it was like, well, what if you just asked yourself once a day, what's one thing I could do to be a loving father today? And just that question, it gets the mind going. So I wanted that, and I also want to highlight what you said about our contribution to the movement feeling good. Because there's very much I don't know what I want to call it, but there is a sense that it needs to be hard. It needs to be a struggle. And making a meaningful contribution to the movement, to the world, like it has to be painful, and it has to include a lot of suffering. This kind of martyrdom mentality that nor we get it from all kinds of different places. But you got to really ask yourself, like, what are the results we've been producing when we're coming from that place? What is the climate of our movements? And what are the results that we produce from that place? I'm not even, look, if working hard was all it took, I'm down. I'm very much a by any means necessary type of person, right? Any means necessary, that works, right? If struggling and pushing and forcing and guilting and shaming and trying to like overload people with scary data and things of like the doomsday clock, if that worked, I would be, sign me up, count me in. I'll be the first one in line to use those methods. But we really have to sometimes in life kind of take stock and be like, what are the results I'm producing from burnout? From, kind of allowing the cultural flavors that we learned through colonization and through the kind of domination history that we've inherited, letting that shape and really color how we engage with environmental work and how we engage with even our academic work, how we engage with our movement work. What results have we been producing? So, I really approach movement work with a permaculture lens. And permaculture is just a fancy, English word for what indigenous people have been doing all throughout history, which is living in harmony with the land and like being of the land rather than dominating and owning the land, and kind of asking yourself, like, how can I be in right relation? How can I like be another organism in this ecosystem, right? And so it's the same with movements. we need to kind of weed out certain behaviors from the garden. And we need to really ask, like, what are the different nutrients and nourishments that our movements need? And really, there's a, like, if water, if, you know, facts and data about how messed up stuff was, and you know, anger and like the fear and the kind of like that energy was water, we got to ask ourselves, are we overwatering the garden? Not to say it doesn't need water. You know, I believe that anger is one of the most important, you know, in Chinese medicine, they say that anger, which the word in Cantonese is nu, is actually just the energy that a seed needs to burst through the shell, go up against gravity through all this dirt, burst out into the air, and then spread those first two leaves. That is anger. Anger is the energy that is initiating, and it sparks, and it creates change, and it creates new, and it's necessary, and it's beautiful. And music and you know, the art and the spirit and those aspects are really the kind of like the compost and all those other nutrients that the factory farms are missing. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say it's more or less important than water, more or less important than air or sunlight, but we need to be able to look at the work that we're doing and really ask, what is missing, right? Because if we look at those rich and vibrant movements that our movement ancestors, so maybe not our ancestors of blood and bone, as KJ was saying, but our ancestors of lineage, of movement lineage, what were those movements like, right? What lasted? It was the music, it was the spirit, it was the art, it was the soul, it was the symbolism, it was all of those aspects that continue to inspire and move us today. So we really have to ask ourselves, are we relating to the work of environmental change and social change like a machine, where it's like, this piece is broken, replace it, this person is broken, cancel them, right? This, you know, cog, let's insert more here, and it's this mechanistic, reductionist, you know, post Cartesian revolution approach? Or are we viewing it as a garden? Because that's the main distinction between, you know, mainstream medicine and you know, the many alternative medicines. And of course, I'm very much a proponent of the integration and the holistic of approach. But one of them, it's like, what's wrong, and let's deal with the symptoms. And one of them, it's like, let us nourish the garden of you and let the natural resilience. And it takes a lot of trust. And it's like, what does it look like to let the natural resilience of our collective body, right? So we can hand down a garden, a social garden, to our next generations that is nourished. So I want to share a song with you all that I was listening to. You know, I can't see you, but raise your hand if you're a fan of the On Being podcast, because that ish has been on fire. I'm gonna move this necklace so it doesn't clank on my ukulele here. So I was listening to Krista Tippett talk to Isabel Wilkerson, who's an incredible author who really, through the stories of the Great Migration of African American or Black people from the South up to the North and the West Coast, and kind of using that story to really paint and contextualize the state of like our social and racial relations today. And she said something, you know, about how there are so many frameworks, just transition frameworks and beloved community frameworks and systems and methodologies that our movement ancestors have left us with, and structures and approaches. And if we look at the scientific community, we have bacteria and mushrooms, bacteria that can eat plastic, and mushrooms that can suck the radioactivity out of the sky, and Lord knows what else we can do when we all get online and really put our great scientific minds, from instead of creating the next S12 15 Plus Max with another camera, and putting that scientific genius towards healing our planet. I'm so confident that we will heal this planet faster than we ever could have imagined. So right now we are creating the social conditions for that transformation to occur. So she talks about how the heart is the final frontier, and that's the name of the song, Final Frontier. I've been spending so much time looking at the messed up things in my mind. Seems like every real evil I find, I can see reflections of here inside. Oh, how many laws have we changed, but still things seem the same. Oh, the structures outside rearranged, but the structure inside remains. What if the only real evil is fear, and the heart is the final frontier? We know how to structure things, that much is clear. And now the heart is the final frontier. Out here trying to change up things with my folks, but these insecurities ain't no joke. I'll work my ass right off just to show I ain't one of them, no, not me. I'm woke, trying to change up things with my fam, following instructions that I read off Instagram. Will you catch me mistaken? Not me. I'll be damned, 'cause I get my ass canceled if they catch me on the cam. Oh, cause these wounds are deeper than the sea, and you were raised to be terrified of me and the pain of who we're told to be. That don't change, we ain't never gonna be free. All these wounds are deeper than the sea, and you were raised to be terrified of me and the pain of who is sold to be. That don't change, we ain't never gonna be free. What if the only real evil is fear, and now the heart is the final frontier? We know how to structure things, that much is clear. And now the heart is the final frontier. Thank you. Thank you. So, what I want to leave you all with after that song is a definition of justice, a different definition of justice that is rooted in approaching our society and our planet from an ecosystemic perspective. Because we were raised with punitive justice as our definition of justice, which is only one approach, one form of justice, which is if you do something, you get punished for what you did. And how's that working as far as stopping people from doing bad things? I don't know. You tell me. So what if we were to look at justice as, this is a definition that I created with the support of my mentor, Maria Nemeth. Justice, the healing of damage done. When this principle, justice as a principle, when this principle is being made present through certain practices, people can trust that their lives, safety, and well-being is valued and cared for in a team, community, or society. Justice recognizes the sovereignty of every being as being worthy of treated with dignity and respect. So viewing justice as it's bringing something back to a state of wholeness, back to a state of integrity. It is a healing of damage done. So when we look at restorative justice, it says, you broke my window, you need to fix my window. We look at transformative justice, and it's like, you broke my window, why are you throwing bricks? What is it that made you feel the need to throw this brick? Why is this window made of glass? Can it be made out of some kind of plexiglass, like, Gorilla Glass? Like, can we make stronger windows? But let's transform the context which we are within. So I want to leave you all with that definition of justice, and perhaps it might inspire us to do that inner change, because I know that the outer change is just going to flow from us when we've done that. So thank you. Passing it over to my fam, KJ.
Oh my goodness. That felt like the best parts of church. Thank you, Mazin. Yes. I could talk about this subject for a very long time. And I also am aware that we have about 15 minutes left. Carly, where are we in terms of Q&A? What are you feeling? What's the vibe? I have another song. We can wrap up with a song. But yeah, there's many things. And if it's time for Q&A, let's go.
Great. Do you want to leave us with a song, and then we'll come over to Q&A, or do you want to do that at the end of Q&A?
I think I want to do it at the end. Okay. I'm gonna save it for the end, because okay, spoiler alert, we're all gonna sing. Whoa, I know it's kind of a big deal, and that may be a little scary, but everybody else is gonna be on mute. So we're going to sing a song that one of our choir members, beloved Kelly Nitoto, wrote. And it's just such a fun way to connect to your own instrument. And it's one of our new songs that is just really easy to pick up and fun to share. So stick around for that, for sure. We'll close out with that. We'll end on a high note, literally.
Perfect. Oh, thanks so much. We will end on that. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you both so much. It's really such an honor to hear from you and to have you here this evening. And I'm going to open up to the audience, all of you who are joining us tonight, to put any questions that you'd like to ask in the chat, and we'll have a few minutes for those. And as those are coming in, I want to thank you both again. You and Thrive Choir have so much joy, and it's I have a question around that. For those of us who are weary right now, how do you keep joy central during these times that are feeling hard for a lot of us?
Oh, I feel you on that question, Carly. I really do. This is something that we have talked a lot about as a choir, something that in our virtual rehearsals that we meet on Zoom, that we have presenced a lot. How do we do this? What are the ways? And something that I mentioned in the class time that we had earlier this evening is, and something that Mazin also referred to in his own way, is the technology of music. That the way that we center joy and hope is to sing. That is the very applicable technology that has been used since time immemorial, and especially during moments where resilience is needed. Especially during moments when it is grim and it looks like the dawn will never come. One tradition that Thrive really honors and gleans inspiration from is a tradition of gospel music that, as Mazin so beautifully put, is a Black spiritual tradition, not limited to the Black church, but is something that through the atrocities of slavery was a central point of hope, was a way to anchor in resilience, was a way to say, okay, putting faith in something greater than ourselves. I think that's a lot of what music can offer, is an opportunity to say, okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm a human being. Hope feels lost. I get up in my head, but something greater than ourselves, the opening up to that in some, different terms, God, source, creator, spirit, Yahweh, whatever term resonates for you who may be listening, to develop a relationship with that entity. And maybe it's something inside of you. It can be the smallest thing. It can be the tiniest little thing, but having a relationship with that sense of opening that you get when at a big rock concert, or that sense of opening that you get when singing with friends or with dancing. Following that thread and having a relationship with that and tending to it daily, even if it's just the tiniest little thing, I feel is the dedication that we're being asked to make right now. And is not only going to help us, as I said, it's going to help the future generations, that it is our sacred responsibility to choose the joy, to choose the singing, to choose the songs that have worked time and time and time and time and time again. They have proven themselves. It's something that we can lean on. It's right in front of us. It's right within us. It's nothing that we need to even reach for. There's my brief answer to that. I could talk on this more. Go ahead, Mass.
Yeah, and perfectly said, KJ. Another, addition to this is there's a way to view joy as an emotion and to view joy as a state of being. And it's very distinct. Like, happy is not the same as joyous. Because if I were to say to you right now, pick one thing that you're grateful for. Could be, I'm grateful for this pen. This is my favorite. I like this, the blue round stick. This is my favorite kind of pen, right? And I could just like sit here, and as soon as I train my mind on I'm grateful for this thing, my mind, which is designed to create evidence to like kind of reinforce whatever conclusion it's focused on. So you can be sad. You can feel sad and be joyous. You can feel angry, and just as you can feel angry and be compassionate. What you're feeling and what you're being are two distinct things. What you be is a matter of will, and what you feel is a matter of circumstance, because your feelings are things that your mind is doing to try to make sense of things. And so just like that distinction, it's like, am I willing to be joyous right now? Even if I feel sad, am I willing to have a sad joyousness in this moment? And that sad joyousness is one of my favorite flavors of joy. That hopeless joy. That like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. This is, woo, God, joy. This joy? Okay, this is joy. You know what I'm saying? So you get me. Point is made.
Thank you both for that. I so appreciate it. And I also really appreciate, we're learning we're like creating all this Zoom etiquette, right? As we're moving through this last year. And you two, you can like see your gospel backgrounds in your Zoom etiquette, in how you respond to each other, even in silence. And so I'm just imagining what it must be like to have the whole choir on Zoom or whatever you do, and all these wonderful ways that you support each other in silence. So we're learning new things about Zoom joy through you this evening. So thank you for that as well. So the choir, I mean, you're in a choir, which is going to be one of the last things that comes back together. I mean, one of the last social gatherings. What's the choir doing now, and how are you reimagining the choir and your work, given the state of things and how things are going forward? And then I'll add on to that as well, because we're getting some questions from the audience about like, how can people follow along with what the choir is doing with the songs that you sang tonight? I'll pass it over to both.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. We are listening. We are in a deep moment of listening for what is next. And a big part of that is literally listening to the EP that we recorded a year and a half ago, that we have been diligently working with all the many different elements and components that go into a full-blown album release, full-blown EP release. And actually this Friday, I'm meeting up with the rest of our leadership team to make some final edits and make some final decisions before we send it off to be mastered, which is a process that happens in a professional album release that makes it sound really good, makes it, whatever you hear on Spotify has been mastered. So we are about to burst in a way where we feel very pregnant with all of this music that we've been sitting with and recording over the years, and we're getting ready for that launch. So definitely a way for folks to keep in touch is to get on our mailing list. It's on our site. It's a very easy way to sign up. We don't send you that much. We send like maybe 1 or 2 emails a month. But that would be a really great way to be kept in the loop about the timing of that. We're looking for this spring to be the blooming of and the release of this music. And yeah, what else? We've had some fun projects here and there, and I really feel that it's been, I am one of the newest choir members. Mazin and I are both the newest choir members, as it were, and it's been very humbling to step into a leadership position during COVID. So I was ushered in as the new co-artistic director in October when we hadn't seen one another for 6 months. And it's still maybe, and some of us have met outside, distance with masks on, and it's given us an opportunity to be really creative. And we've done some fun behind the scenes things. We have some fun things coming up. The main project is the album though. And the songs are just so life-giving. It can be, I can forget sometimes with I can feel that hopelessness too. I can be like, oh my God, like I just want to sing in person. Like that's what we used to do. But when I listen to the tracks and I listen to the intentionality that we've put in over the years, all of that potency and all of that medicine is so there. And that is what we are really thrilled to share with our communities, our extended communities, you all included. So just know that is imminent, and we are very pumped to have this music be a resource for you all.
Thank you. We will look forward to that and share it out when it's released. And I think with that, shall we end with song here this evening?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Great. Okay. Well, this was so fast. I'm like, we could just keep on going. I was like, so one of the things I was gonna say that is a good segue into this is that I really hope that whoever in there, wherever in there is listening and watching knows that singing is not just for some people. It's not just for us because we're in a choir, because this is what we choose to focus our professional lives on.
And it doesn't need to sound good.
And it doesn't need to sound good. Singing is available to all of us. It's just sound with some spirit in it. That's really all that it is. I know I'm a voice teacher, and this is what I've been doing for years and years and years, is working with people one-on-one. And I've seen so much shame and so much embarrassment and so many questions around voice. And the process of emerging through that, the process of getting to be in relation with your voice, just as I said, being in relation earlier to God or spirit or creator, I think is one of the most important things that someone can do as an activist. And if you don't know the attunement to yourself, if you don't know what you're capable of in your own voice, how the hell do you expect to know what you are capable of in the world? If you don't have explored your own capacity in here, you won't know the extent of your capacity and your potential with your activism, what you can do. So, saying that, drop whatever story you have about not being a singer, about not sounding good enough, about not being pretty, all this kind of stuff. Listen, I've been there. I know it. I had all this technical training back in the day. It was so perfectionistic and awful, and it took a lot of time to undo it. It doesn't need to take a long time. What we're going to do is receive a big breath together and a little wiggle out. And I'm going to say a line of a song. I'm going to sing a line of our song that our beloved Kelly wrote. And then you're going to sing it back. So I won't be able to hear you because of the mysteries of Zoom and all of that. But what I invite is for you to just do it full out, like you are having the best time in your life. The more fun you can have, the better. I don't care if it's on pitch. I don't care if it sounds all over the place. If you are having a good time and you feel some opening in your body, that is what we're going for. That's what's most important. So I will sing both the call and the response. So when you respond, you'll be singing along with me. So I'll do each line twice. Here we go. If I know one thing, I know I can sing. Your turn. If I know one thing, I know I can sing. If I know one thing, I know I can sing. Your turn. If I know one thing, I know I can sing. I know I can sing. I know I can sing. Your turn. I know I can sing. I know I can sing. I know I can sing, sing, sing. I know I can sing. Your turn. I know I can sing, sing, sing. I know I can sing. So the magic of this song is that you can insert any verb that you want and have fun with it. So if I know one thing, I know I can laugh. We're going to do that one in a second. Dance, play, create. All of those are available. So we're gonna work with create. Actually, I said laugh, but create. So when you are singing this, when you are vocalizing this, I invite you to let yourself be surprised with the deep knowing that you are here to create your own version of whatever we're heading into, your unique contribution. That's what this is all about. So here we go. If I know one thing, oh no, I know I can create. The verbs are the syllables are a little funny. So maybe hold up. You do that one on your own. Let's do a one syllable thing. This is gonna be better with the beat. Let's see, laugh. Let's do laugh. Or back to the original. If I know one thing, I know I can laugh. Your turn. If I know one thing, I know I can laugh. My turn. If I know one thing, I know I can laugh. Your turn. If I know one thing, I know I can laugh. I know I can laugh. I know I can laugh. Your turn. I know I can laugh. I know I can laugh. I know I can laugh, laugh, laugh. I know I can laugh. Your turn. I know I can laugh, laugh, laugh. I know I can laugh. Yes. So take that song and run with it. I know Kelly would be so honored. He would be so happy to have people singing the song. Insert your own verb. And what I want to say in closure, well, first of all, big breath, everybody, is that whatever you gleaned here tonight, whatever is inspired, take it and run with it. Take it and run with it. Write about it. Talk to your loved ones about it. Dream about it. Don't just let this be another Zoom thing that you half-ass attend and then forget about. There's so much potential in each and every one of us, and that's what I'm thrilled for people to get to dive more into. And Thrive is available and excited for more opportunities to speak like this. So our gig world has so expanded during this time. We never did keynotes before. So if anyone watching is working with a college or an organization or a company that would like some soulful infusion, that would like some music, that would like some, yeah, look at Mazin, exactly, holler. Let us know. Please reach out to us. We are available for that. We are wanting to expand our community and our network and to bring song into spaces and organizations and groups that maybe don't usually have that, because we want this medicine to spread. So please feel free to get in touch with me. You can get in touch via our website, via my website, and let's see what we can create. So don't be a stranger. We're very, very grateful to be here with you all tonight, and we want to do more.
And KJ and Mazin, thank you so much for your work, for your song, for your joy, and for everything that you are doing for the movements that we all care about.
Thank you so much.
It's been our honor.
Really, it's an honor. Y'all take care. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.